And hello, my fellow nerds. This is Oracle Nerd here, and welcome back once again to our Wonderland Remastered Steam release. So last time we were going through Arc 4, and we're going through Arc 4 currently. At least that's what we're doing right now. And I remember if I remember correctly, this is actually going towards the end of Arc 4 in this episode. At least that's what I figure. Let's see. Anyways, I left a nice patch of drool on the pillow and a thin layer of crust that's built in the corners of my eyes. I blink, yawn, roll over me at her side. Gidget is still asleep next to me. She's on her back, face pointed at the ceiling, jaw slack. Then whistling snores punctuate her breath. I smile and frown. Last night, the gurgle of nausea returns to my belly, and I have to clench my eyes shut to ward it off. I try not to think about it. Everything, everything will be fine. It'll work out. I have to hope that. Keeping my thoughts trained on anything but that is liable to send my mind down a dark path won't soon return from. So instead, I reach over and gently take Gidget's hand in mine, softly intertwining my fingers in. Oh, sorry, I pressed the wrong button. She gives me a little snort in her sleep, but otherwise doesn't move. I smile and let myself eyes flutter closed. Maybe I'll sleep for a little bit more. I'm given it all 2 minutes before the sound of approaching footsteps catches my attention. Not just any footsteps, fast footsteps. It's strangely crisp, like someone is slapping the floor or running barefoot. The door slams open. I set up where to start, my heart leaping somewhere near my voice box. Next thing, Gidget groans and winds her brows. It's... Oh? Cecil? And looking all together, nothing like the smoothly pressed, unflappable Cecil I've become too familiar with the past 48 hours or so. He's wearing nothing but his boxers, and his normally slicked down hair is a flurried mess of curls. Cecil? Gidget pushes herself up to her elbows, raises brows in confusion. The, there you are. Cecil wipes at his forehead. I I woke up late and ran to your room, but you weren't there. I admit I may have panicked slightly. When he sees the two of us just staring at him, he finally seems to register what must look like, because his gaze drops to his appearance, and he instantly straightens. Apologies, ma'am. I appear to be a bit out of the sorts. Kisha rests her chin in her hand with a little wink. It's okay, Cecil. It looks like you had fun. This seems to only increase his discomfort, and he promptly drops his gaze. Uh, I'm to inform you that breakfast is served in the kitchen whenever you're ready. That sounds great. Thank you so much. I'll, it'll take us a bit to get ready, though, so feel free to go make yourself presentable. Gidget is having a hard time holding in her laughter. Thank you, ma'am. Cecil gives one bow, then another, then ducks out the door. I hear the sound of bare feet padding away from the door. Talk about a jumpstart to your morning. Gidget turns to me with a grin. Shall we get ready then? She looks back to herself. No sign of the burst of anger from last night. And her eyes still soften when she looks at me. This assuages the lingering anxiety I had, and even realized I'd still been playing cat's cradle with my ribs. Sounds good. It doesn't take us too long to get ready. Gidget heads back to her room for a change of clothes, and I find my own clothes freshly cleaned and pressed in one of the chairs. Interesting. But I paid the strangest of it no mind, instead slipping them on with the grace of a half-dozing sloth. I hope there'll be coffee for us. When I opened the door to step out into the hallway, I greeted by a rabbit attendant. Shall I take you to breakfast, sir? He asked with a bow. Oh, sure. That sounds good. Yeah. Another bow. Then we're on our way through the corridors and down the grand staircase, past other attendants, cleaning, dusting, polishing the castle trimmings. I'm reunited with Gidget and Cecil in front of a large set of double doors. Gidget gives me a little once-over before her eyes stop halfway up my frame. She lets out a giggle and look down to see my fly wide open. For fuck's sake! Cheeks burning, I quickly zip up my front. That this is already shaping up to be a great day. This way, please. The nearest attendant ushers us along, and opens the door to reveal a grand dining hall with a long table stretched across its center. The table was already piled high with food, eggs, toast, meats, and cheeses, bowls and bowls of fruit. My eyes practically bug out of my head as my stomach gives an unsightly growl. We're guided to the far end of the table, where we are seated at the right of the grand throne at its head. This looks amazing! Gidget has her hands to her cheeks as she takes in the sight of the feast. She's not wrong, though admittedly the sight of it sends a little curlicue of anxiety up through my belly. I shake it away. Right as the far door bursts open, sending me half out of my chair in surprise. My dear friends, so good to see you alive and well on this fine morn. Orlin waltzes in, arms outstretched as though about to make some sort of proclamation. I trust you both slept well. Oh yes, very well, thank you. Gidget is all smiles. Everything was just lovely. Orlin settles over, hands clasped behind his back, a shit-eating grin practically engulfing his face. He passes by Cecil, standing against the back wall, and I don't miss the little smirk he shoots him. Cecil straightens up with a cough. Wonderful, wonderful, yes. Orlum settles into the throne, lounging back in the pillows, then grabs a glass from the table and raises it in the air. One of the attendants rushes over and fills it up with juice. I'll make sure my guests are well taken care. I like to make sure my guests are well taken care of. Well, you certainly outdone yourself with this feast. Gidget reaches forward to grab a muffin from a nearby breakfast basket of pastries. Yes, the benefits of staying the night. This would be a new experience for you. Orlum swirls the juice in his glass. Perhaps the invitation has never been enticing enough. Gidget bites down into the muffin in disinterest. And I don't have to miss the way Orlum's eyes follow her every movement. Until they suddenly shift to me. You're awfully quiet there, Iggy. I straighten up with a start. Me? Orlum tilts his head with a amused grin. Tired from the night's activities? I cough, reach for my glass, and promptly down half my glass of juice. Fortunately, a door in the back opens at that moment, and a rabbit dressed in a kitchen attire wheels a large cart with more trays of food. Sorry guys, I had a bit of a technical difficulties. My Wi-Fi kind of went out for a moment, but I'm fine. Okay, let's just continue where we left off. Fortunately, a door in the back opens in this moment. A rabbit dressed in kitchen attire wheels a large cart with more trays of food. There's silver lids gleaming in the chandeliers. Ah, perfect. The main course. Orm scratches idly at his underside of his throat, simply watching the attendant approach the table. We're each given a steaming plate of food, a gorgeous arrangement of potatoes, eggs, and greens, with a sizzling sausage steak at its center. My stomach growls for a second time, and I quickly dig in, to, taking to it as though haven't eaten in days. Smells amazing. Gidget sighs next to me before doing the same. I see her cut off a piece of steak and bring it to her lips, her cheeks flush pink with joy. I make it 3 or 4 bites in before I notice that Orlum is watching us. He has his chin in his hand, just sitting there, a little smile playing on his face. I pause, blink. What is it? Orlum just laughs. Oh, nothing, nothing. Just happy you're enjoying the meals, is all. I raise a brow as I bring another bite to my tongue, chewing on it slowly. As I swallow, I come to realization. I look across the table, at the empty chairs, at the far door, back at Orlum. Where's Genzo? I finally ask. Gidget's head pops up. Oh, true, I haven't seen him since last night. Now both of us are looking at Orlum. I don't like that smile on his face. His face hasn't changed. Still just staring at us. Still just smiling. Then his eyes widen ever so slightly, pupils dilating. His smile, it spreads, curling upwards, taking over his whole face. Seems to start to shake before I hear him chuckle. It begins as a nasally twitter, then grows to a throaty warble that makes my tips of my bangs shudder. Finally, his head cocks backwards, the guffaws racking his entire body as he falls back onto the pillows of his throne, hand to his forehead. Dude, look how dark Gidget's face looks. Like their faces look much darker than this one than they did in the original and the alpha build. He laughs and he laughs. He laughs as though he can't control himself. A high-pitched chipmunk series of shrieks that bubble up from his lungs and echoes throughout the entire hall. His legs come up, kicking out in fits of delirious ecstasy, his feet slapping against the arm of his throne. You're... But he can't seem to finish his thought, tears glimmering in the corners of his eyes as the laughter continues to monopolize his larynx. Then a shrill squawk that robs the air from my lungs. You're eating him! My muscles freeze. For a moment, it feels like my heart itself has stopped. I glance down my plate at the steak, half eaten, just laying there in a pool of juices. The fork falls to my fingers. I bring my hands to my mouth, eyes bulging. No. No, 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 no. This, it can't, it couldn't have, it happened before I could stop it. Like an eruption of my stomach, bile and stomach acid rising. The show, God, I'm actually thinking of barfing myself. Ugh. My shoulders heave and I vomit everything I've eaten straight into the table. It lands in a sickening splatter all over my plate and silverware. This makes Lord Orlum cackle even louder. He pounds his fist into the pillow of his throne, tears streaming down his face. I can't seem to move, can't seem to comprehend. Next to Gidget is looking civilly horrified. Her face is sickly gray and her hands to her throat. Finally, something inside me must snap because I scooch back from my table with an ear-splitting screech in my chair, rise to my feet, my knees shaking. The room feels like it's spinning, and I bring my hand to my head to try to steady myself. Orlum is sitting up now, still blinking back tears. You don't like it? Pity. And here I thought we'd have such a long future together. Guards, he squeals, the laughter returning. Seize them! Seize them now! The door's fling open, the guards surging in the room, which is enough to clear my head in an instant. I throw a terrified glance at Gidget, who is already up and out of her chair, Cecil pulling her to her feet. We need to get out. We need to get out. The door in the back! I barely have time to yell before I leap out of the reaching the incoming guard. Then I'm running, my heart beating out of my chest and my head going 120 miles an hour. I was standing shoulder first to the door. Gidget Cecil right behind me. I find myself in the castle kitchen. The second layer guard burst through after us. I let out a scream, jumping to the right and out of reach of his groping arms just in time. I hit the ground hard, pain shooting up my spine. But I don't let that stop me. Can't let it stop me. Already my fingers are clawing to the ground in an attempt to put further distance between myself and the yellow eyes of a raging rabbit. Gidget! I screech, I scramble to my feet. I see her on either side of the guard behind Cecil, throwing horrified glances back and forth between me and our assailant. I fling out an arm. Just go! Find a way out! Anywhere you can! I grab a pod in the nearby rack and throw it at the rabbit's head. It stops for all of a second, then he charges towards me. I allow myself one more glance at Gidget, enough to see Cecil dragging in the opposite direction. Before I turn tail and run, I go careening around the tray piled high with dirty dishes. The moment the slick surface of the tiles don't do me any favors, I go flying into a rabbit cook carrying a tray full of freshly baked pie crust. The cook yelps. The crust go flying. I go flying, screaming past him, grabbing onto anything that can propel me forward and faster. There's cooks everywhere, scurrying from one station to the next, holding food and ingredients and utensils, oven doors opening, knives hacking the bone. I don't have time to think. All I do is run, scurrying between one culinary scene after the next and eliciting more screams as I go. And behind me, the guard continues charging, pushing his way through what little regard to the additional havoc he's wrecking. Around the corner, I spy a gleaming cooling rack, packed full of trays. I fling towards it, giving it a hurried, desperate shake, and the sending trays toppling all over to the floor in a cacophony of tinny crashes. This draws the attention of a nearby cook along with a set of tongs. He shouts something I can't make out before charging forward. And then I yelp as I roll out of the way, crawling around feet, crawling through falling food scraps, scurrying across the tile, and my heart threatens to beat straight out of my chest. Finally, I see a door ahead of me. And with a final burst of raw adrenaline, I go barreling towards it, bursting out of the other side with such force that I'm nearly sent straight back to the floor. The sudden calm throws me off guard for a moment. I'm back in the hallway of some sort. The long, empty hallway lined with doors. I wave my forehead, trying to figure out what to do, mind racing. By the sound of yells, clashing cutlery behind me, beyond the door behind me, I realize I don't have time to stay here and sort things out. Pick out for the nearest door, wrenching it open and throwing myself inside. Then I just sit there, my back to the door, heart heart beating, sweat leaking down my neck. In another moment, I hear sounds from outside. Heavy metal footsteps, a whole flurry of them. But though they stop for a second, they ultimately carry on down the hall, echoing off floor and ceiling. My shoulders fall. I let out a breath I hadn't realized I've been holding. I'm safe for now. I let the silence wash over me, allowing me to calm my racing heart, and throw a glance over my surroundings. Where am I? It's dim, but not so dim I can't see. When I step forward, the ground crunches beneath my feet. I look down at the start. Straw? The whole floor is covered with straw. And the sight sends the uncomfortable gurgle of through my belly. Who's there? A voice makes a jump. It's low and phlegmy. It's small. It's so small. I'm so lost in the dark, in all the darkness. With a pang that threatens to rend my heart in half, I realize I already know who it is. Take a step forward, and another until I'm close enough to see him. I drop to my knees. My whole body is shaking. Genzo? My voice catches. His arms are chained to the wall, his upper half slumped forward, heavy against the restraints. Wait, is this different? I feel like this is actually different. I feel like this is actually different from the the old version because I could be going crazy, but were his arms chopped off in the old version, or part of his arms? I don't know. His arms chained to the wall, his upper half slumped forward, the heavy against the restraints. There's a white cloth wrapped around his eyes. It's no longer white. It's red, practically black with blood, dried and caked in layers and layers of it, and staining his cheeks in heavy streaks that winds their way all the way down past his chin and throat. Thick, crusty lesions adorn his body in haphazard patterns, skin pulling and curling away from also beneath the melted fabric of his clothes. And oh no, it was his legs I'm thinking of. Oh, his legs were chopped off. I bring a hand in my mouth, fingers trembling. His legs are gone. Cough mid-thigh, stumps caped in bloody bandages, two fleshy lumps sinking into the straw. Is that you, Wiggs? So something about the way he says this sent tears in my eyes, and I had to clutch my hand inside my mouth to stop the wail from leaving my throat. It's me, I say softly once again, controlling my voice. It's me. I bring a hand to his cheeks, thumbs trembling against the skin. Sorry, I never got to congratulate you last night. I clench my teeth together so hard I'm surprised my teeth don't crack. White, white hot tears sears the back of my throat. Probably won't be able to throw that bachelor party for you either. Genzo. Oh my, what a tearjerker. I jerk back, heart thumping against the side of my chest. I can already taste the bile rising in the back of my throat. He's there. He's watching us from the other side of the room. Okay, now the music is giving me vibes of oh, what's that game? Fears to Fathom? I should play Fears to Fathom one of these days. Just watching us from the other side of the room. So quiet I hadn't even heard him come in. Orla Willem oozes forward like a shadow in the night, bangs casting his face in a lurid contrast. His bony fingers are wrapped around the handle of a butcher knife, and he's twisting it back and forth in casual inspection, almost as though bored. Unfortunately, I'm more partial to comedies. Already too much tragedy in my life. Why not fill with some laughter instead? I was laughing quite a lot last night, wasn't I, Genzo dear? Genzo winces and drops his gaze. Orlum draws closer, and I instinctively scurry backwards, pushing myself up to my feet with a swallowed gasp. But Orlum isn't interested in me. He wanders towards Genzo with a little shake of his head, tutting beneath his breath. It was show-stopping, wouldn't you agree? A grand spectacle worthy of the stage. And all of it orchestrated so perfectly. He descends with an almost graceful fluidity, mounting Genzo's lap and cradling the other man's chin in his hand. We reprised our roles so well. The heartbroken drunk, the hopeless hopeful, both of us desperately clawing and scraping for something just out of our reach. He stretches his face up the side of Genzo's cheek, up into the hair, eyes closing as he breathes it in. For a second, he doesn't move. Then a smile. It grows and grows, stretching across his face like a snake uncoiling itself. But this time, a laugh, shuddering at the base of his throat. This time I made sure you couldn't leave afterwards. Now his whole shoulders are shaking with it, laughter spilling off his tongue as his fingers wrap themselves around a handful of Genzo's hair. Let's see you run away with those little legs of yours now! His eyes go wild, teeth grinding together as he pulls Genzo's head backwards. Only for him to abruptly stop, face going blank. He turns around, looks at me. His eyes dilate. Then he smiles. Iggy, 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 he sings as he rises to his feet. You really have gone in over your head this time, haven't you, Oblivious little Iggy who only wants to make everyone happy. But you can't. That's the problem, see? Because our Wonderland doesn't actually exist. There isn't a place where all of us can be happy. He spreads his arms in a grand show of pageantry. So you can try all you like, but the ending will always be the same. His eyes drop to his arm. He drops his arms, head shakes. Just what am I going to do with you? Then starts towards me. With a panic twist of my heart, I jerk backwards. Back across the straw, so fast my feet slip out from under me, I go down hard. But I still keep crawling away, until my back hits the wall, and my hands dig into the straw, hot breath fast on my lips. All I can do is look up at him as he walks over. The stone wall get cold against my back, straw poking against my palms. My arms, my legs, my lips, everything is shaking. A guttural sense of hopelessness running through my veins. Holm seems nonplussed, unhurried in his approach. He simply stands over me for a moment, eyes lit in apathy, before his face twists into a grin. He's on me in a flash, up and in my lap, bony hips pressed against mine as the hand goes down to my shoulders. Shh. He smiles so sweetly, almost affectionately. It's okay. Look at you, trembling like a lost kitten. He threads his fingers through my hair, softly combing the curls again and again. We can decide what to do with you together, You'd like that, wouldn't you? I respond with a hic in the back of my throat. A nod. I try to blink back the tears gathering in my eyes, but this just sends them down my cheeks instead. First option, of course, the standard option. You have been a bit naughty after all, sneaking into my stalls, fraternizing with one of the high security prisoners. He brings the knife up, pushing the flat side against my chin, twisting the head first left then right. He tilts his head. Such violations would normally be enough to send you straight into the pot. He emphasizes each word by slapping the knife against my cheek. Then sits back with a shrug. However, I'm nothing if not a benevolent ruler. A humanitarian, you must say. Plus, we do have such a long history together, don't we? The knife now goes to my throat. He traces the tip of it down to the collar of my shirt, tugging it against the fabric. There are other rules you might fill around the castle. Oh, places where you could be useful. Then lower, across my chest, and carving a shallow groove into my skin that basically becomes dotted with pinpricks of blood. Of course, I can't let you off that easily, so you'll still need to allow me a taste. But from where, Lower, across my belly, where the skin is softer and the knife digs deeper. Perhaps something you won't miss? Lower, coming straight down my belly button, my breath coming out faster and faster, hyperventilating. That would certainly make our mutual friend jealous, wouldn't it? But that's okay. I've taken over for him. He's part of me now. Now I'm the one with the irrelevant witticisms, the crowd-pleasing antics, the dashing sense of disregard for society's rules. Lower, the entire tip of the knife is sunk down into my skin now, blood welling up around it like a font. My vision is warping, twisting in and out, dots dancing across my eyes. What are you, Iggy? What will I get after devouring you, I can just barely make out the shape of my head drooping. I feel the tongue against my skin, warm and soft as it laps a growing puddle of blood. Will everyone love me, Iggy? Fuck. Fuck, I can't. I feel my eyes start rolling back. Oh! And that's when I see it. Something dark behind him, hazy and contorted. Shadow rising up like a beast out of the gloom. I only have a split second to question my eyesight before. Leave my fiance the fuck alone! He just screams a deep guttural cry and sinks a pair of kitchen shears straight to the back of Orm's neck. Orm's body goes completely rigid against mine. His eyes stretched wide in surprise. I look at him. He looks at me. The tip of the scissors had pierced all its way through the front of his windpipe. Then both of us watch the bubble as a bubble of blood forms between his lips, larger and larger before popping across his chin. Pours a gooey waddle of red saliva from the bottom of his lips that drips down onto my shirt. Gidget yanks the scissors back out. A gush of blood that flows splashes up and onto her hands and face and dress, a brilliant wash of spattered and speckled crimson. It colors the very air red. The smell of filling my nose and lungs. Orlum shudders, then crumples, limp on top of me, almost like he's fallen asleep, but curled atop my chest. Blood, blood oozes out across his back, staining his shirt and hair and seeping to the fabric of my clothes. I can only stare at him, pupils trembling. Blink, blink again. My whole body feels eerily cold. The world around me is strangely unreal. It remains and it remains that way even as Gidget tosses aside the scissors and holds out her hand, fingers red and shiny in front of my face. Come on. Only it's not a show of assistance, it's an order. So I take it, our fingers slick as they intertwine. I let her pull me to my feet. Willem slides off in the process, going belly up in the straw. He looks so tiny now. He looked like he'd get lost in those dried up stalks. Well, in that moment before, he seemed to tower over me like an insurmountable behemoth. I whip my face, still shaky and dizzy. My clothes are a mess, a mixture of my and Orlem's blood coloring it, with thick, heavy splotches that glisten even in the dim light. We don't say anything, just breathing in the weighted silence. Until the door opens with a slam that nearly sends me into shock. Cecil rushes in, his face tense. His normally pressed clothes are twisted and rumpled mess, decorated with red splotches of their own. I see it looks like a kitchen knife in his hand. He takes one look at Gidget, at me, then at Willem on the ground. Come on, we need to get out of here. The whole castle is looking for us. Gidget nods, pushing back strands of hair that have gotten stuck into blood on her neck. She starts towards him and I follow. Then stop. Genzo. My heart clenches. Fuck, 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 fuck. Guys, wait. I somehow managed to form words. I'm not even sure how at this point. Sheer desperation, I suppose. And when both of them turn to look at me, I stumble my way back to Genzo, still just sitting limp against the wall. Genzo. I start, my voice shaky as I drop to my knees next to him. He doesn't seem to hear me at first. Is he even awake? I give his shoulders a little shake. This seems to roused him. I see his nose twitch, and then he raises his head. Is the guy here with my burger menu 8 yet? I swear this place is the worst service. Genzo! I shake him again, my voice cracking an effort. Yeesh, eggs, easy on the goods. I just had a major operation, you know. I blink back, the tears flooding my eyes. Genzo, they're coming for us. We have to go. Gidget begins stomping towards us, one hand pointing toward the door. We have to go now, Iggy. They'll be here any second. Just give me a minute, I bark back, harsher than I meant to, which is enough apparently to stop even Gidget. I turn back to Genzo. I'm sorry, I say softly. What are you sorry for? He sniffs. You didn't ruin everyone's life. I laugh. But me? That's like my shtick. I bring my hands to his cheeks. It's okay though. Every group's gotta have one bad egg. The asshole that always fucks everything up for everyone. Then slide down towards his shoulders. I can't shut up. That's my problem. I try and try. The shit just comes running out of my mouth. Towards his throat, my thumb's bruising across his Adam's apple. Except when I actually want to, then it gets stopped like my ma on bean night. My fingers are trembling. Even now, with death staring down my throat like the world's biggest cock. I can't say it. I can't fucking say it, Eggs. It's okay, you don't have to. I know. Then I squeeze. Genzo spasms instantly. A choked, fleshy gasp bursts apart his lips as he jerks back against the restraints, and his body goes ramrod stiff. The sounds of his legs kicking out of futile panic. I squeeze and I squeeze, my hands shaking, thumbs pushing straight into his lyrics, until I realize with dread my lack of strength against the width of his neck is going to make this impossible. So with a shudder hit to my throat, I climb up into his lap above him, pushing down, using the full weight of my shoulders to press and press. He's still gurgling and sputtering, still spasms beneath me. It takes everything I had to keep my balance, keep myself steady, keep my weight trained in a single spot on his throat. Fuck. My chest hiccups. Fuck, not yet. But it's too late. My vision warbles. My vision warbles as hot, stinging tears fill my eyes, running like rivers down my cheeks. Before I even realize that a throaty cry is buzzing on my lips. It grows louder and louder in anguished wail of frustration as I throw every last ounce of strength I have in hands, fingers, thumbs. Then the sputtering stops. Choking stops. Feel Genzo's body give one last shudder, one last kick. Then goes still beneath me, still sinking into the straw. I stay there for a moment longer, blinking through the tears, blinking through the pain, then sink 1,000 miles back into the floor, releasing my grip on his neck, and his body crumples in on itself. My skin feels numb, my breath stilted, hands cramping, aching. I clasp them together, unable to stop them from shaking, fingers still curled and rattled against each other. Sorry, Genzo. I'm sorry for all of this. I'm sorry for me. Touch my shoulder jolts me out of my daze. I look up. At first, not even comprehending what I'm looking at. Then I realize it's Gidget. That's right. We need to get out of here. We're in danger. We need to leave. She holds out her hand. I take it, suddenly over my feet, but moving. Out of the stall. Back into the hallway. Running. Racing. Everything's passing by so quickly. Flashes of gold and red. I try to stay focused on Gidget's feet as I run, mimicking her hurried steps. The only thing I can latch onto to keep myself pressing forward as everything else blends and bends and twists around me. Flurry movement to the left. Guards. A whole battalion of them. Cecil shouts something that leads us to her right, down to her hallway, past window after window, in and out of cascading sunlight. It's so loud now. A thunderous cacophony in my head, stampeding footsteps echoing off the walls. Just as we're rounding another corner, a door flings wide open and guard comes charging at us. He grabs Gidget by the throat and slams her against the wall. I find myself rooted to the spot, frozen, unable to so much as scream. Well across me, Cecil already has the knife raised and is flying at the rabbit. Mistress! He leaps straight to the rabbit's back, yanking back its ears and stabbing the knife again and again in the exposed area of the rabbit's neck. The rabbit screeches and releases Gidget, who stumbles away with her hand to her throat. Run, mistress! Cecil shouts right before the rabbit grabs him by his hair, flings him to the floor with a horrific crack. Cecil! Gidget shrieks, but somehow this spurs me into action. And I'm finally moving forward, grabbing her wrist and pulling her after me as I run, pell-mell down the hall, shrieking across the carpet. There's a door, just up ahead. I do a quick glance backwards and see the rabbit bring his giant iron boot down Cecil's head. Gidget lets out a wail. I wrench my head forward. Keep moving. I go flying into the door, shoving it open, lurching out, pulling with sluggish legs out of the open air into the castle gardens. We're out. We can't stop here. I keep sprinting, past the bushes and trees and fountains, past the towering castle walls, past the bridge and the moat that path curling back towards the village. I shift left and start towards the distant trees, away from the castle, away from civilization, away from any chance of running into any more guards. I hear Gidget's breath behind me, coming out more short, ragged bursts as her feet pound against the dirt. Once we're near the trees, there's still no sign of any guards behind us. I begin to slow down, slower, easing off into the trees, until we're walking, stumbling, tripping over the rocks, branches, each other, as we clutch the tree bark for balance. Finally, we stop completely, hands to our knees, coughing, wheezing, and gasping. could taste blood in the back of my throat, on my tongue, and my lungs. My lungs feel like they're on fire, like I'm breathing through a straw. I lean against the overhead branch, clenching the eyes shut as I focus simply on sucking oxygen up and into my lungs, a great greedy gobfuls. Once my body starts to calm back down, my head is no longer spinning. I throw a glance at Gidget. She's just standing there, her gaze pointed to the ground. One hand clenched to her chest, her face dark. But when she sees me looking at her, she smiles, a sad smile, but a smile nonetheless. We don't say anything, simply grabbing each other's hands and renewing our forward trek. Onward through the trees, past trunk after trunk, coiling brush, branches that cut and scratch at our cheeks and necks. On and on until we reach a clearing with a cabin at its center, squinting there quiet and innocuous. We both look at each other, then to the cabin. There's, so, there's something about that draws me in, like a string leading straight into the door. Gidget was feeling it too, because without saying anything, we both start towards it, answering the tug, it to guide us forward, allowing it to guide us forward. I don't bother knocking. I open the door, walk inside. It's warm and strangely comforting. There's even something cooking on top of the stove, some filling the air with delightfully sweet scent. Isn't this lovely? Gidget finally says, breaking the silence. A little cabin out in the woods? She brings her hands to her cheeks, taking the cozy ambiance of the wooded interior. It is nice. I scratch the back of my neck. Everything seems so familiar somehow. I look around, my gaze jumping from the stove to the table to the bed. Something about the bed sends the insides into a twist. I shake my head to clear my thoughts, jerking away. Gidget's gaze. Gidget turns her gaze back to me. She seems to notice my current state for the first time. Oh, Iggy, her eyes cloud. Let me get you cleaned up, okay? She takes my hand softly, gently, leading me to one of the chairs at the table. She hit Once she has me seated, she wanders over to the little kitchen area and fetches a bucket already filled with water and a rag from the nearby rack. Then she slides out into the sea across from me and dips into the rag into the water. Here. She starts on my face, simply running the wet rag across my cheeks and chin, pressing against my brow. It feels wonderfully cool, wonderfully calming, and I lean into her touch, needing it, craving it. She moves to my chest, lifting my shirt and letting the cool fabric slide across my butt, a bloody slit bisecting me up the middle. She's delightfully gentle in her ministrations, soft, tender pats that sting at first, then give way to easing coolness. My poor little rabbit. Her lips tremble as she absorbs the damage. What did he do to you? She's extra careful on my belly, where the blade had gone the deepest. She wets the rag again and again, simply holding it against the wound rather than actively wiping, until I until the caked on blood finally starts to loosen and blot away. Once finished, she fetches another rag and instructs me to hold it against my belly for a few minutes so it can start to clot. I'll make some tea for you while we wait. You'd like that, wouldn't you? A little tea to heal the spirit? She smiles and kisses the top of my head before wandering back over to the kitchen area, where where she begins scrounging around the shelves. I watch for a moment, then let my gaze fall. I lean forward into the table, my chin in hand, just breathing, taking it all in. At this point, I'm still trying to keep my mind clear. Yes, don't think about it yet. Don't let your mind wander to it yet. You need to keep it together. And you won't if you succumb to your thoughts. Succumb to the pain. I press my lips together. Let my eyes flutter closed. I must have fallen asleep because when Gidget places a small mug of tea down next to me, it jerks me backwards to the start. She giggles softly. Here you are. Then sits back down across from me with another mug in her own hands. The tea smells amazing, warm tendrils of sweetness curling up inside my nasal cavity as I breathe it in. When I wrap my hands around the mug, I, I feel the heat travel up and across my arms, a comforting warmth. Thank you. I bring it to my lips, take a sip. It tastes good too. Gidget watches me and smiles. Her head tilts. This is nice, isn't it? Just the two of us enjoying a little moment like this. She touches a t- I see a tiny touch of pink rise to her cheeks. It feels very domestic somehow. It does, doesn't it? I take another sip. I can feel the liquid filter down my belly, warming me up on the inside. After everything that happened, I got a bit worried, but I think things will turn out just fine. She reaches her hand across the table. So long as we're together. I lift my hand to join hers, fingers wrapping around her palm, just relishing in the comfort of her skin. Then I try to pull back. I can't seem to move. I blink, furrow my brows, try again, but I can't seem to make my muscles work. In fact, my whole body seems to be slowing down, lethargic. I don't even notice my other hand slipping down and out of my lap until the mug goes clattering to the floor. What's going on? She's just smiling at me. See her hand, or stand up, place my hand gently back in my lap. Don't worry, Iggy, everything's going to be fine. I open my mouth to respond, but can't seem to form any words. Instead, simply my jaw goes slack. I'm going to fix you. Wait, what? What's going on? Everything's happening so fast, my brain can't keep up. I let out a little moan, try to say something, my tongue like a limp worm in my mouth. It's the only way, Iggy. Her face suddenly goes stern, and she stomps her foot into the ground with such force that it makes the windows rattle. You see, I just couldn't figure it out. I thought, why would this place do that? Why would it give me everything I want, make it so perfect, but then stop short right at the end? It's making me crazy, Iggy. What? Why would it do that? After everything I've done. She goes quiet for a moment, eyes dark. Before her mouth twitches. But then, I figured it out. A laugh. Her face looks different. Her eyes wide, pupils shrunk. She's giggling. She brings her hand to her cheeks. There's a test, a challenge. This place is testing me. It can't just give me everything I need to prove myself, prove I'm worthy of the ultimate life. It would be too easy otherwise. Gidget, I finally managed to eke out, though it sounds more half-grown than anything else. Because there's no other way, Iggy, no other way it would work. Everything has to be perfect. You don't understand. I've given up too much. It all can't be for nothing. Now her fingers are digging into the skin of her cheeks. I need to be perfect. You need to be perfect. We need to be perfect. You need to make me perfect. Or else everything will fall apart. Her body curls inwards. I can hear her breath, ragged. She see the tears glimmering in her eyes. She takes a moment, just staring at the ground, staring at through the ground. Then her arm falls to her sides. She smiles, walks towards me. I'll make this right. You're just broken, that's all. But I can fix you. I can fix us. Hooks her arm underneath my legs, around my back. Lifts me from the chair. My head falls back limply as my arms splay out to my sides. Like a broken rag doll awaiting salvation. We're going to be so happy, Iggy. She places me down on the bed, just gazing down at me, her eyes quivering. Just you and me, our own family, our own perfect life. Then begins to undress. I can only watch in horror as the dress flutters to the floor. Gidget, no. Please don't. Iggy. I try to shake my head, my lips sputtering uselessly. I'm doing this for us, Iggy. She climbs on top of the bed, on top of me. Gidget, you don't need to do this. You never needed to change. I was the one who was wrong. I want you to be yourself. Come back, Gidget. What do you want, Iggy? What? You'll see, Iggy. You'll see how good it is. You'll see how perfect I am. Perfect for you. Your angel. I try to move my lips. They slip and slide against each other uselessly. But I keep trying. I need to. Make it stop. Make this stop. Bring her back. Bring back the Gidget I know and love. What do you wish for more than anything else in the whole world? Now she's moving lower. Again and again I try to form words. But as always, it dies in my tongue, unintelligible hum. What's wrong, Iggy? I see her tilt her head to the side, gazing down at me lovingly, adoringly. What has this place done to you? What have I done to you? I clench my eyes shut, focusing everything I can and pushing the words down my throat, across my tongue, past my lips. Make it stop! At this, Gidget's brows arc. and her look changes to one of confusion. Stop? We can't stop it. This is the only way, don't you see? This is the only way you can be fixed. But the words are already out. The moment they hit the air, everything was sealed. And the next moment, the door swings open in a slam. Gidget whirls around as Bugs walks to the door. Bugs. Bugs takes one look at the scene before her eyes dilating in surprise before stomping towards us. What the fuck are you doing? Bugs, this is... I can't explain. It's... Gidget scrambles off the bed, her arms raised in defense. But Bugs just grabs her around the neck and throws her against the far wall. There's a gut-wrenching snap as she collides with the wood before tumbling to the ground. Then she's shaking, groaning, trying to crawl away. Bugs, stop! Bugs, please! I can see tendrils of blood work its way to her forehead, tracing a curve of her nose. This isn't what you think. We were just... Just what? Breaking into my house? Stealing my stuff? Bugs stumps over, standing over her, just watching. She picks Gidget back up as though with nothing in a twig, and flings her to the kitchen. Gidget goes flying to the shelves with a crack, dishes and pots, foodstuffs falling in a series of clatters. She's wailing now, scream after scream, her shoulders heaving with every throat-wrenching cry. Shut up, shut up, shut up! Bugs brings her hands to the side of her head, clutching her hair. But Gidget doesn't stop, only shrieks louder. I see Bugs' eyes positively livid. You never shut up, you never shut up, you never shut up! Her head snaps to the side of and surveys the room. Then she walks over to the stove, snatches up the still hot kettle. I'll make you shut up. Watch her approach Gidget. Raise the kettle over her head and bring it down. There's a horrendous thud, dull and heavy. Gidget chokes and sputters. Then again, and one meaty thwack after the next. Again and again. Until all I can hear is the fleshy smacks interspersed with Bugs' ragged breathing. A puddle of blood forming across the kitchen towards the table and the bed. It feels like it goes on forever. Gidget's head and face near unrecognizable. But still, Bugs keeps swinging and slamming her kettle. One final squash, the edge of the kettle snaps straight through her skull. I see Bugs stop, just staring down at her, and slowly rise to her feet. Stands there. Her hands, her face, her neck, everything red. Her shoulders still heaving with every breath, sending blood on her hands back to the floor in scattered drops. They paint the wood in a rhythmic staccato. Then she must realize something. She turns around, turned towards me, readjusts her grip of the kettle. I can only watch as it starts over. Watch she peers down at me, head tilted in curious introspection. Watch as she raises the deckled kettle back over her head. It's okay. I knew this was coming. I knew it as soon as the words left my mouth. I'm fine with it. I thought the game froze for a second. I just want it to end. I just want all of it to end. Goodbye, Iggy, Bugs says. The thing then brings the kettle down on my head. Jesus Christ. Honestly, that was it's honestly the most twisted arc in the entire game, in my opinion. Just, oh, you have no idea. Like, don't get me wrong, I love this game. It's well written, it's well made, and like, honestly, I don't even know what to say anymore. Like, Arc 4 is probably the lowest that this game could possibly be at, but I know for a fact it's gonna get worse in Arc 5. I played the original version, and oh my god, I honestly don't really know. because the whole point of Arc 4 is that it sort of brings me the message of wanting to be the person that everyone else sees you as, like wanting to be perfect for them. But that's the thing, perfection doesn't actually exist. There's no such thing as perfect, because everyone has their flaws, everyone has their imperfections, and I always say, because perfection is just something that humans made of so they can better themselves. And in all honesty, I actually don't really know what else to say, because I really wish that humankind could be perfect, but there's no such thing. perfection doesn't exist, and what Gidget wants is something that she can't exactly have. Because, and sure, it's all because of Iggy. Iggy is the reason why everyone is being the way that they are, and and I'm guessing that's why in the first arc he wished that he didn't exist, because but then it causes a paradox. If he didn't exist, then he wouldn't have made the wish, and they wouldn't have found Wonderland. So he couldn't have made the wish if he wished he didn't exist. But I'm going back to arc 1. This is arc 4. And arc 4 is just, it's sort of, I think it's sort of just about wanting to belong in a way, wanting to reach those expectations that people have for you, but ultimately never reaching them because you can't. And honestly, you can't reach those expectations because they shouldn't exist in the first place. The most that people can be is themselves, and you should be okay with that. At least that's what I extrapolated from all of this. In all honesty, I don't really know how else to put it. A- Achievement unlocked: Dark Knight of Despair. You completed Arc 4. You completed Arc 4. This is the worst one yet. Sorry about that. It's okay, Carrot. You made it. You're making an amazing game, anyways. I'm sorry, Gidget. I couldn't make you happy. Happy? Happy? Yes, I need to make her happy. I need to make all of them happy. I need to, for a single one, remain peaceful. Blissfully calm in the darkness of my eyelids. Think of a jerk that nearly bends my spine in half and sit up. Straight up. Every joint, every muscle, every fiber of my body is ramrod straight. My heart. My fucking heart. I can feel my fingers, my ears, my head, my eyes. Then comes the nausea. Bubbling, frothing, rising up, erupting. So fast I almost didn't catch it. I slid my hand to my mouth, desperately trying to hold it as I stumbled from the bed and raced towards the bathroom. I barely make it. Half slipping in the tile as I wrenched open the toilet seat, plunged my head inside. What? Then spilling out. And heaving gas made my head thrum. So much like I'm injecting everything inside of me. My fingers shake around the porcelain, still holding it so tightly my muscles bulge. My tears and snot dribble down my chin and to join the goopy saliva-ridden muck. Once the convulsions died down, I let myself fall back. My tailbone collides angrily with the grout. I'm shivering now. I can feel things. My arm is gone. My leg. Numbing shocks all over my body. Red filling in my eyes. Sensations all come at once all over. To the point that I've curled myself, my face buried in my knees to keep from screaming. But the noise still doesn't escape. Still doesn't escape, like a throaty, desperate hum on my lips. My heart feels like it's being ripped in two again and again and again. A deep, guttural sense of hopelessness. I see them. I see all of them. Every horrific detail, in pain, agony, dying it again and again. Bring my hand to my face, to my eyes, trying to block out the images. But nothing stops them. Nothing stops the visceral sensation of despair, digging into skin like scalpels threatening to rip me open. I remember. I remember. Fuck, I remember everything. And there it is, the start of Arc 5. Wow. Oop. Oh, wait, I had to click. Oh. Once upon a time, there was a tree that could grant wishes. People would come to the tree and ask for their heart's desires. Their wishes nourished the tree. The tree would grant them. For the tree loved them. The tree loved everyone. And they shaped the tree's world. But people began to take their wishes for granted. They grew jealous and bitter, and began asking for more and more things, for horrible things. No longer did their wishes nourish the tree. They hurt and twisted the tree, destroying the world it had created. Heartbroken, the tree casted everyone away, vowing that it would never trust anyone again. However, the tree grew lonely. It missed caring for people. It missed the joy and laughter. It missed the taste of their wishes. I will only allow those with pure and innocent hearts to enter my world, the tree thought to itself. And so it waited, and waited, and waited, until one day, it found them. The tree was happy again. So happy. Its new children fed it the most delicious wishes. Innocent and pure. They reshaped the tree's world, helped it grow strong again, turned it back to the land of joy and hope. And the tree cared for them, watched them grow, tried to make them happy, trusted them. The children grow up. One by one. They lost their innocence. The tree fell into despair, casting them out before they could corrupt its world once more. It felt betrayed, betrayed by its children, betrayed by everyone. It sealed itself away. Bitter. Desolate. Hungry. For hundreds and hundreds of years, its appetite grew. One wish. That was all it needed. That was all it craved. One single wish. To make it whole again. The purest, most innocent wish of all. It's recommended you play a side game Our Fantastic Wonderland before playing the final arc, though not a requirement. Some references, in particular a certain character's role, could be confusing otherwise. You can find the game free on itch.io. In the future, it may release on Steam too. Oh, well, that's interesting. That's very interesting. Thankfully, I actually played Our Wonderland before. Everything is a blur. All right. I think that is a good time to leave this video here for now. So in the next video, we'll be finishing up this game with Arc 5. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like, comment what you think, share this video with your friends, and be sure to subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss a single notification. I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye.